Greetings from the eccentric man, and it's time for a new army. In fact, a French bolt-action army, but with a twist. The Eccentric Man YouTube channel is kindly sponsored by Lost Art Games in Stevenage. You can find them online and at 29 Marketplace Stevenage. Pop in and say hello. The French army, yes. Sitting on my to-do pile for a little while. Got it before Christmas, and it's been on the back burner really because we've been painting up the English Civil War project, which was a pretty major project for our 2023 painting hobby. But we now are moving on to the French army for bolt action. But not really wanting to do it for Europe. So where am I going? Well, I'm going to the Levant, Syria, 1941. The Vichy French army in the Levant was a pretty professional outfit. It had a number of battalions of the French Foreign Legion. It had some good colonial French troops, particularly the Tirailleurs from Morocco and Senegalese colonial troops, and it also had the indigenous Syrian troops, and they were quite a reasonable force. And the Allies were uncertain on whether the Vichy French in the Levant would actually fight or whether they would capitulate and give in. The Australian divisions were earmarked for the battles with the help of the commandos. And they soon found that the Vichy French were there to fight. And they did. And they put up a very good showing. An interesting book to find and read is The Litani River by Ian McHarg. And it chronicles the commando raid behind the enemy lines to take out the barracks. It's a good read, and it got me interested in this particular theatre. The starter set gives you a good jumping off point. It gives you 36 multi-pose French army infantry, made of plastic of course. It gives you the army HQ, 2 officers, a medic, 1 radio operator, a spotter, a MMG team, a medium mortar team, and a 25mm anti-tank team. So it gives you a reasonable setup. Tank-wise, it gives you the Char B1 medium tank, but they didn't have that in Levant. So I've got some other little bits to add in, which should take us along that route. The plastic figures from the starter army box set are really going to set me up for my colonial troops. And there's going to be at least 3 units of 8. Might even make them up to 10. So we'll see how we go. But it should give us 2 basic colonial sections and 1 Tirailleur section. So we'll be looking at the French army list in the book to see how we go with it. I don't actually have the French army book, so a little trip to Easy Army on the internet, and I've picked up from the reinforced infantry platoon. There isn't a specific one there for the Western Desert or even for Syria that I could find. So I've just gone for the generic platoon and added in a few bits that I thought I might like within the army. I set it up initially to 1,000 points, but it can be easily upgraded to 1,200 by increasing some of the section sizes. Looking at the list then, first up, I've gone for a first lieutenant. And with that, I've just given him 1 extra man, taking him as a regular. Going with that, I've gone for my 2 initial sections, and both being the French Foreign Legion units. They're going to be 8-man units, but I have given them LMGs. I know some people don't like putting the LMGs in because of the 20 points cost, but I always do. Then for the Colonial contingent, I've gone for 3 sections, 2 sections of regular infantry. They're 8 men. One has got a light machine gun, one hasn't. And then I've gone for the Tyralliers unit and made that a unit of 8, again with a light machine gun. The Tyralliers have the tough fighters rule. The Legionnaires have stubborn. I've put in a medium mortar with a spotter to add for a little bit of artillery. Moving on to the next section. I've taken a sniper, but it's only regular. The points is a bit tricky to fit in for 1,000 points army. I've then taken the free 75mm howitzer. You get a free one as part of the national characteristics. I've gone for the Panhard armoured car. I think that was just because I bought it at the time and I didn't really have the army book. They were produced in 34 into service, but only a few went overseas. So I might have to have a look at trying to find one which is more correct for the Syrian campaign. But went for the R35 tank, which certainly is one of the vehicles, the tank that they had available in the Levant at that time. So having opened up the box, I've got a sprue out. There you can see that there's 6 figures to the sprue. There's 6 of these. There's so many S's, isn't there? There's 6 of these sprues. And you get the variety of heads. So you've got the Colonial caps on the top, normal helmets down there on the bottom, and you've got the Alpini, or the Chasseurs, isn't it? Chasseurs berets. And then you've got the main helmets. So a good variety. They look pretty crisp, gotta say. The detail on them does look very nice. We go down a little bit closer, hopefully keeping in focus. Good detail on those faces, look at that. Whether my painting skills are good enough to bring those out, I don't know. Contrast type flesh paint might work very nicely on them. But we'll have to see, because we've got to come up with a colour scheme for the skin. So, yeah. So that must be the light machine gun. Yeah. There should be a VB. Oh, yeah, there's a VB launcher there in the middle, if you can see that one. Just focusing down on there. Just try and get it in focus a bit better. Yep, on that one there. Yeah, so pretty good. Should be pretty easy putting those together. What I did like in the then we get a bit of shaking around because I'm going to do it one-handed. What they did give in the box is your bases for your artillery. Open it up one-handed, as you do. Come out. So we've got a 2mm MDF base. That'll be for our light artillery piece. So that's quite good. You can do a bit of terrain on that. Give it a nice base to sit on. And then the mortar and the MMG. So yeah, that's good. Nice to have bases to put them on. Next up, the French Legionaries, and these are from Artisan Designs, their World War II range. Let's have a little look at the figures up close. So first time unpacking the Legionnaires, and what I've noticed is I've got 3 LMG and 1 loader from the box. I think that should have been 2 LMG and 2 loaders. So it does make me a little bit short of 1 section. So I need to get a few more Legionnaires. So I'll probably put an order into North Star and pick them up at Hammerhead, where I'm going on March the 2nd. I'm not quite sure when this video will come out, but it'll be probably after the show. Yeah, so I need to get those. Got a little bit of cleaning up of the metal on these, but they're a good size. to running with the plastic Warlord ones. Here's the command for the French. These are the metal Warlord ones. I'm not planning to go through all the figures and do a review on them. The metal figures are pretty good, as they always are from Warlord. But I thought it might be interesting to look at the comparison. Oops, sorry about that. Just trying to locate the other ones. Comparison in size between the Warlord and the Artisan. So these are the Warlord, and if we put in here the Artisan, slightly bigger. That one's because his feet, the way he's standing, is a bit odd. But anyway, there we go. They're not too bad in size. I think they'll all fit in quite nicely. So it's a decision of which commanders will I go for? The Legionaries or the other one? Well, there's a decision to make, isn't it? So we've got the radio operator there, and we've got the medic. So we'll have to think about it. Now on to the tanks. Not the best of the tanks, I must say. It's a slow one-man turret, but it has got 8 armour all the way around. But it is themed to the Levant. Well, I've had a further deep dive into the 178, and yes, apparently there were more of them shipped out to the Levant and Syria than I thought initially. So it will be the 178. The only problem with it, it's got a low-powered anti-tank gun on a 3+, but that's also the same as the R35. That's got a low-powered anti-tank gun, and they've also got one-man turrets. Well, that's what it's got in the 35. So that's going to be the French project for the coming months. It's probably going to be a slow project, as I'm also working on a Seleucid successor army for Hail Caesar. So we'll be running those two in tandem, no doubt. So check out the website. Check out the videos that are going to be coming through. Subscribe if you haven't. Hit the notification button to know when the next video is out. And if you like this one, give it a thumbs up. Any comments, please put them in below about the army, about the French in the Levant. Always good to chat. And I do try to answer all the comments that get put in. Anyway, until the next time, take care.